to another edition of Entrepreneurs on Fuego. We're documenting the journey of entrepreneurs one digital footprint at a time. With me, I have the very distinct pleasure of having Theresa Garcia. You notice how I do, without the Garcia thing. I say it the way that
it's meant to be said.
We Spaniards would say it, Theresa Garcia, President and CEO of Trust, Leadership, and Growth. How you doing, Theresa?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you for actually being here. You've been here like 4 hours waiting for your turn to be interviewed and stuff. So you must be very patient, and surely with your leadership skills and patience skills and brain transformation skills, you were able to wait your turn without much of stress.
Well, that would be a stretch, because patience is a virtue I aspire to. Like many entrepreneurs, I whipped out my laptop, got on the phone, did my work, and maximized every little bit of time I had.
There you go. And
took the opportunity to meet the other people that were here. So
beautiful.
That was wonderful.
Beautiful. Well,
yeah.
tell us a little bit more about what you do, because it fascinates me. But I want you to tell everybody, every entrepreneur that is watching here, somebody that is aspiring to be like you, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, I am an executive neuroleadership coach to businesses, to nonprofit executive boards as well, to individuals and teams.
All right, let me stop you.
You want to know what that is?
What is a neuroleadership? The word is so big. I'm like, Beba.
I know.
And you were what?
Okay, think of it this way. It's very simple, really.
Yes.
The movie Inside Out that just came out from Pixar. Did you get a chance to see that? It was for little kids. It's about how our emotions inside
I saw it.
affect
I
our
loved
behavior
it.
outside.
I loved it.
That's neuroscience. It is the understanding of how the brain works.
Yes.
And how that applies to leadership and management. As it turns out, in the last 10 years, we've had such breakthroughs in neuroscience and research. We've come to learn that many of our business practices and management practices actually go against the way our brains work.
Give me an example.
Without even knowing it. Well, for example, our brain is an incredible organ. It's constantly looking for threat and reward.
Yes.
So it moves us instantaneously away from threat and toward reward. Okay?
Absolutely.
There's 5 fundamental things that always happens every time people come together. We check each other out for status. What's my relative status with the group? If I'm in a high status position, I feel pretty good about things. I feel safe.
Right.
If I feel one down or a lower status, all of a sudden I gotta be a little bit more wary. I've gotta be defensive. I gotta check it out and make sure I fit.
You put your shields up.
Right, we put our shields up. That's an automatic, we're wired that way. We're supposed to do that.
Right.
Okay? Another area is certainty. We are wired for certainty. So when you think about an organization change, and I do a lot of culture change, and I help a lot of leaders transform their organizations, grow, high growth, change is pain. It's actually processed by the body, by the brain. The same way, emotional pain is processed the same way as a sucker punch to the gut.
Same thing. We don't want anybody to move our cheese.
That's right, exactly. But this is why. So what drove me here was I learned and studied human behavior. I learned and studied organization behavior. I learned all I could about business and about just bringing together people. But still what drove me was just an insatiable curiosity to find out, but why?
Right.
Why do we do that? If we know so much about management and leadership, then why have so many companies failed? Why have so many mergers failed? Why do people come home at night and they feel so depleted as opposed to energized? What are we doing wrong?
What's missing?
So what's missing is we have not been applying and creating a brain-friendly environment. We've been actually working against ourselves without even knowing it.
How do we create that brain-friendly environment?
So what we do is, like I said, we bring it down to its most simple phenomenon, because it is easy. If children can understand this from Pixar, right? From
Yes.
how our emotions drive our outward. If we can have little kids understand it, certainly you and I can handle that, right? So
you're
no, I'm
overestimating.
giving you the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, you're overestimating.
You're an entrepreneur. You start business.
I only ask questions, man.
So what I do is I help leaders and teams just understand how to get out of their own way and how to actually maximize, from a brain standpoint and from a leadership standpoint, how to grow their business and how to grow their team.
So what is the hardest thing that we face, or that it's in front of us that is the obstacle. It prevents us from going there to develop our leadership teams and all that stuff. What is the biggest obstacle? I mean, is it?
Most
Are we
often-
afraid to change? What is
Well, I would say it's ego. That's one thing, because ego is tied to fear, right? And that's what drives us.
it? Is it more gender based, or
This
is
is-
it equally?
No, this is humankind.
It cuts-
This
okay.
is human nature, which is another reason why I love the study, the application from a leadership and management development perspective, because it crosses all boundaries, it crosses all cultures. The other thing I love about it is it's the most growing, most freeing thing to ever happen. Nobody owns the corner on the market. You don't have to buy it from anybody.
Right.
It's within us. You want culture change, you want to change the world, you want to change a business. All one has to do is look in the mirror, because it all starts right here, and learn some simple approaches to stay calm under pressure, to not let your ego and emotion fire up some old models and old mental models that maybe worked when we were little kids and had no power, but now as a fully functioning adult, they not be working for us anymore. Do you know that research has also identified that about 48% of North America adult population uses the same mental model in problem solving that they developed in high school?
I did not know that.
You want to know, take a look at our political scene and what's happening and why is everyone acting like adolescents? Think about, the housewives of Atlanta or whatever.
Sure,
That's
that
just childlike adolescent behavior because we haven't fully integrated. That's what it is. So rather than have our emotions rule us, we can change our mindset, we can change our behavior, we can know when an emotion is coming and just say, hey, that emotion's coming, but I don't have to fall victim to that. Now, this is absolutely essential for business owners, for leaders in nonprofit organizations, for anyone who is attempting to bring together people and guide them and lead them to help to understand the basis of human beings. Think how powerful that is. And like I said, it crosses all boundaries, all cultures, and it's free. It's within each and every one of us.
And you teach all this.
I love it. It is the most life-giving, and when I see people change and I see that aha moment, just like I had. I was an A-driving player, in corporate. I knew how to get it done. We talk about innovation, we talk about growth, but really what we're talking about is Sun Tzu's Art of War,
Right, sure.
or Machiavellian principles.
Sure.
I'm going to get mine
The
first.
Prince, one of my favorite books.
Sure. Well, if you want
Go
to
figure.
grow and develop people, and right now we're in a time in our lives and in society where technology is exploding opportunities for everyone to collaborate, for everyone to play. We're now enabling women from all over the world who could never before participate in business to be able to do so from their homes, right? We're able to translate information in all kinds of different languages instantaneously, visually, right? So everybody can play, and that is a great opportunity to collaborate. So to be effective as a collaborator and an entrepreneur, understanding how people really work and creating an environment where they can bring their best foot forward, that's so life-giving. It's so business growth. It's economically smart. It's everything. And I'm so pleased that we've brought together now neuroscientists who now have identified these things, and we're applying it across the board. Every major university, every major consulting firm is revamping the way that they lead and the way they teach management, because this has been that revolutionary.
How do you deal with your own problems? Because it's one thing to say, hey, look, I'm going to solve your problem. I think I have the solutions for this, and that. But sometimes it's very hard for us to analyze ourselves and say, you know what, I think I need to do this. Do you go to somebody else for leadership advice, or you got it down? They're like, yeah, okay, I'm recognizing that what I'm going through.
No, what I've learned is I rely on others. I didn't get where I am alone. I got there with help, lots of help. And I had to get out of my own way, and I had to ask for help. And I go to coaches who coach me, and I coach others. It's constantly evolving. That's what is so exciting to me too. It's a high growth, just a high growth area. So I get help. I had to learn how to go within myself and get clear. I had to go back and figure out what is really important to me. I've had some very scary things happen, and I thought, oh, I can do all this, I can build. And just even as an example, 3 years ago, I nearly lost my little girl in a car accident that killed her best friend. Now, I had just flown in from a major business trip. I was going to fly out the next day. I'm out there moving and shaking, and in an instant, my whole world just came crashing down. But that forced me to take a look at what's really important in my life. And that's when I realized, Theresa Garcia,
Yes.
what's important to me is my family first. And I can't possibly go out and ask you or anybody else to go through this process of integration and self-reflection if I haven't done the work myself. You would know that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't take advice from somebody who hasn't done it. I wouldn't take my car to a mechanic who doesn't own a car, right? I do it first. I learn and I continue to evolve, and that's what encourages as well other people to do the same.
You are this very powerful woman. You are at the top of your game, and something life-changing made you realize, wait a minute,
Yeah.
what am I doing? So you had to put your ego aside.
I had
Like
to.
you said, you had to put everything aside and be humble.
On the other side of fear, on the other side of ego, it opens up a world of opportunity. And from a brain perspective, bringing it back, do you realize that we can create new brain cells every single day for the rest of our lives until we're buried? So when you do that, we create new synapses, which opens up new opportunities and things that we never even knew existed. Everyone can learn. Everyone can.
That was an experience that occurred, and thank you for sharing that experience with
That's
us.
just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that occurred 3 years ago. you
3
mentioned,
years ago. Yeah.
How do you get back to feeling that way again? Because surely that was a catharsis, and that moment in time made you realize and change. And there's some things that are more important. But today, say you're feeling good, you're always again, on top of the world. I mean, you're just powerful. How do you kind of go back to that moment and go, wait a minute?
Well, I've learned, thank you for the question. I've learned it's more than the event. The event was a catalyst, a wake-up call.
Okay.
I'm a stubborn woman, and it took a lot to get my head
You don't strike me as a stubborn woman at
to
all,
get my
Theresa
attention.
Garcia.
So what we had to do, my husband and I, my daughter, our family, we came together, we talked. We're like, what are we going to do? What we value is our time together.
Sure.
So we changed our lives. We changed our home. We changed where we live. We downsized. We cleared out. We said, what's really important to us is family and freedom of choice. That has always been important. So getting help from others, using a coach, learning these things. I journal every day. I take time to be reflective, to stay and understand and be fully here and fully present with you in this moment.
Sure.
I work that every single
You
day.
block everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you deserve
Right
that.
here.
That's right. And I'm selective with my time. I'm selective. In the past, I would have said yes to anybody and everybody. And in fact, I did and nearly killed myself with exhaustion.
You said
And
yes
nearly
to me,
lost
so-
my marriage.
so
It's just,
you-
you have to be focused.
You said yes to me, so
You have to be selective, right, with your time. So that's what I do. I keep it selective and balanced.
What advice are you going to give somebody that wants to follow your footsteps with everything that you know? What advice are you going to give?
I would say first, get clear and get centered and integrated with self. And that means to go within, to learn to be quiet, to still the mind, to allow the thought and the creativity to come in. When we operate out of fear, when we operate out of a belief that we have to please or other people's needs, what that actually does is it shrinks our ability to think creatively. We can't change the world if we don't take care of ourselves first. So that's what I would say.
Do we do that through meditation?
There's 7 ways to do that that are
All right.
important to everyone. Meditation is one and a very good one. Journaling, taking 5 minutes in the morning to just get your head straight. Playtime is incredibly important. Downtime, where you're just not even thinking. Like, I don't know about you, but often when I'm in the shower, I'm not even thinking, all of a sudden, boom, an idea comes to mind.
All the time.
Or when I'm sleeping, you have to have enough sleep. Every entrepreneur knows sleep is one of those precious little things. But I've come to learn that it's not only precious, it is absolutely vital. So do those. Some of those are some of the things. And
It's very simple things.
they're just basic.
They're not,
No.
that.
I'm telling you, this is not, it's really not rocket science.
Science.
It's just taking care of us as human beings and staying connected with our community and our planet. that is so life-giving. There's a reason it's here. It's for us to take and learn and grow, and the rest will take care of itself. There's many people here that can also help.
You know, my biggest regret is that, not regret, but shall I say, the thing that I regret the most is that you and I could probably be here for about 10 hours talking about this, because this fascinates me. This is good stuff. And these are the things, the advice that you're giving right now is the thing that anybody can apply in their lives. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're working for somebody else, anybody can.
It's everyday stuff.
And it's everyday stuff, simple things.
Yeah. So thank you for the time to be here and to talk. And do I get a little present?
But of course.
Awesome.
We're going to give you a membership of the office pile.
Oh, great.
And it's worth a lot of money, but it's, I don't know, like $1 million or something like that.
From just the sheer networking and opportunity and to be present in this auspices.
Here's what I'd like you to give you.
Okay.
It's there is a free workshop that you can give, or a seminar, and you can use this facility to do it. It fascinates me. I think that what you're doing, the message, you got me all pumped up, because the message that you're giving, it just resonated to me, like right away.
Yep, it rocks.
You rock, man. Theresa Garcia is in the house, and this is for you.
Thank you so much.
You're so awesome, man. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you very much.
3-5 years from now, we're going to be watching this thing again, and we're going to go, hey, where is she now? You know, what is she doing?
That would be great. I would love that. I really would.
With that, we're out.